If AI can do most of the work, what becomes the role of a leader? We are entering a world where intelligence is going to be abundant, but wisdom, judgment, trust, vision, those are still human. Artificial intelligence is changing how we work, how we create value, and how we lead as humans. In a world filled with algorithms, human trust will be the ultimate competitive advantage. Today, I want to talk about three critical shifts every leader must take right now. First, let me ask you a question. Imagine you wake up tomorrow and the majority of your daily tasks can be done faster, cheaper, and more accurately by artificial intelligence. Reports, analysis, strategy modeling, writing, coding, and even decision support, all of it. Now, here's the real question. If AI can do most of the work, role of a leader, because we are entering a world where intelligence is going to be abundant, but wisdom, judgment, trust, vision, those are still human. And the leaders who thrive in the next decade will not simply be the smartest people in the room, they'll be the ones who know how to create clarity, inspire people, ask powerful questions, and build systems where humans and AI can work seamlessly together. In other words, the future belongs to leaders who can operate in the executive flow. Today, I want to talk about three critical shifts every leader must take right now. First, embracing a service oriented leadership mindset. Second, developing a mindset for wealth, value creation. And third, becoming a leader who can thrive in the age of artificial intelligence and be more human, because technology may transform the world, but leadership will determine whether the transformation benefits humanity and nature. So let's dive in. Welcome back to the Executive Flow podcast. This podcast is about helping leaders reach a state of clarity, presence, and flow so they can lead organizations and lives that create real impact. Today, we'll talk about something deeply important for leaders right now. We are entering one of the most transformative moments in human history. Artificial intelligence is changing how we work, how we create value, and how we lead as humans. But here's the truth: technology alone will not define the future, leadership will. And the leaders who thrive in the next decade or beyond embody three things: a service oriented leadership mindset, a healthy relationship with wealth and value creation, and the ability to lead humans and AI together. Today, I'm going to walk you through a framework that integrates all three. Number one, service oriented leadership. Let's start with the foundation. Leadership is service. Too often, leadership is framed around authority or power, but the greatest leaders in history understood something very different. They understood that leadership is about lifting others. Service oriented leadership asks a simple question: who am I here to help succeed? Not how do I look powerful? How do I create conditions where others thrive? When leaders adopt this mindset, something interesting happens. Trust increases, engagement increases, innovation increases, because people feel seen, people feel valued. And when people feel valued, they perform at a completely different level. And this is just not hearsay, this is also proven by science. Foundation number two, the power of transformative questions. Now, one of the most powerful ways leaders serve others is through the right questions, not by having all the right answers, but by unlocking insight in others. Research in coaching and neuroscience shows something fascinating. When someone generates their own insight, the brain produces a burst of high frequency neural activity that creates stronger learning and lasting behavioral change. This is why the best leaders don't simply give instructions, they ask questions that unlock thinking. Questions like, what opportunity are we not seeing yet? What problems are we solving for humanity or the organization or the community? What would success look like a time frame from now? Great leaders create what some coaches call the epiphany pocket, a moment where a question lands and silence follows. And in that silence, insight emerges. So the next time you lead a meeting, lead a conversation, try asking a powerful question and then do something that feels uncomfortable. Let the insight emerge. Foundation number 3, the wealth mindset. Now, let's talk about something that many leaders struggle with: wealth. Some leaders have conditioned to believe wealth is selfish, but that is misunderstanding. Wealth is simply also a measure of value creation. If you create solutions that help millions of people, wealth follows. Think about this. Every major innovation in history, from electricity to the internet and AI, created enormous value for humanity, and the people who built these systems created wealth. The real question is not is wealth is good or bad. The real question is, what value are you creating for the world? Service and wealth are not opposites. They are partners, in my opinion. When you serve people at scale, value grows. Pillar number 4, leadership in the age of AI. Now let's talk about AI. Because the leaders who succeed in the next decade will understand one thing: AI does not replace leadership, it could amplify leadership. AI can process information faster than humans, but it cannot replace judgment, ethics, empathy, vision. Those are human capabilities. They will become more valuable and not necessarily less. The future could belong to leaders who know how to combine human intelligence, artificial intelligence, and collective intelligence. It's easier said than done. The best leaders will ask questions like how AI can help our team become more creative. How can we remove repetitive work so humans can focus on innovation, uplifting others? The leaders who ask these questions will build extraordinary organizations. Pillar number 5, curiosity and learning. Another essential leadership trait in the AI era is curiosity. Technology is evolving rapidly, which means leaders must become continuous learners. Curious leaders ask questions like, what don't I understand yet? What new technology should I explore this month? What emerging ideas could reshape my industry? Curiosity is not just a personality trait, it is a leadership discipline, and it keeps you thinking fresh. Pillar number 6, building trust in an AI world. As AI systems are becoming more powerful, trust becomes even more important. People need leaders they can trust, leaders who are transparent, people or leaders who can act with integrity. Trust is building through small actions, keeping promises, admitting mistakes, listening deeply. In a world filled with algorithms, human trust will be the ultimate competitive advantage. Pillar number 7, the future leader. So, what does the leader look like? They are service oriented, technologically aware, and deeply human. They understand wealth as value creation, they ask questions that unlock insight, and they build organizations where human and AI systems work together to create extraordinary impact. Before we wrap, I want to leave you with one question. If you had access to the most powerful technologies in history, what kind of leader would you choose to become? If you want to explore that deeper, I created an executive flow self-assessment. You can take it by clicking on this website. It will help you understand where you are in your leadership journey and how to grow. Thank you for listening to the Executive Flow podcast. Until next time, stay curious, serve others, and lead in flow.